That's a pretty big statement, but hear me out. Most gear reviews are homework, charts, specs, numbers. This is not that.
I know this makes no sense and we just met, but I promise this time that you won't forget. There's reoccurring numbers in everything we say, including jokes that make us laugh and our chemistry. Is this called chemistry? I should learn a code, but all I know is we would get along like 110 1110 110 1100 110 1110 110 1100.
Leica. They've been around a while. Maybe you've heard of them. The camera of international correspondents, street poets, and sometimes people with more money than sense. They've seen empires fall, revolutions rise, and somehow kept the brass polished the whole time. Leica isn't about keeping up with the Joneses. They are the Joneses. And for decades, if you wanted a Leica, you accepted the religion. Fixed lenses, manual focus, the purity of prime glass, but even the high priest of Wetzlar can't resist the lure of a good zoom. Today, we're talking about the best one they've ever made. And if that sounds like blasphemy, good, you're in the right place.
Here we are. I'm not sure where we are. There's planes, there's F1 cars, there's tanks. And I guess we can go in the Concorde. I don't know, I'm sure it's structurally fine. But it seems a little weird that it's just an airplane mounted on posts. This is pretty wild. You're on quite an incline. All right, in we go.
Le Chambord, Alsace, France. A beautiful little hotel in a wide region with an ugly footnote. This is where Anthony Bourdain's story ended. Not sure what pulled me here. Maybe it's respect. Maybe it's curiosity. Maybe it's to stand in a frame of an episode of Parts Unknown that never aired. Places hold energy, some of it heavy. And if we're being honest, Tony would have been the first to sign off on a low-budget Paranormal Activity spoof. Tony, are you with us? Give us a sign. Oh my gosh, did you see that? What was that? Is that an Arby's roast beef sandwich?
We're here today, Leica SL3 and the 24-90 f2.8 to f4. It's huge, but it is incredibly well machined. It feels beautiful to hold. It's incredibly simple. The only thing you get on there is the numbers. You don't get any switches, there's nothing else. Just incredibly simple. I would say that that's kind of just the mantra of Leica. They want to make the interface as simple as possible, and that includes the physical controls here, as well as the menu system, which I really, really appreciate. We're going to be doing a variety of video clips as well as photographs out here in France, and eventually Germany, and Faroe Islands, and then Iceland. It's going to be quite a trip. The locations were forced upon us a little bit because we were originally going to Vienna, but Air Canada is on strike, so we had to divert our plans and exit through Iceland, which I'm not mad about. Faroe Islands is new, and every location that we're actually going on this trip, with the exception of Iceland, is a new location for me. So that's really cool. So I feel like a lot of the locations that we go to, I'm usually hired to do a job there, and then we go back and we film some YouTube content. And I feel like I've been to the same places over and over and over again. And these are all new. I'm Taylor Jackson. I am a wedding and portrait photographer from Canada. Out here, though, we're not doing a whole lot of wedding and portrait photography. We're doing mostly landscape and street photography, as well as just general travel photography. I would say that in terms of usefulness, This lens is incredible. It gives you everything you need, as long as you don't mind the weight and the cost, I suppose. But you will be surprised how much you use both 24 and also 90. I'm used to having a 24 to 70, which is great, so it would zoom to about there. But the additional millimeters has been really, really helpful for framing scenes that you just might not otherwise be able to get. There's always distractions, street signs, all kinds of things going on in the foreground. And if you are able to just frame them out with your zoom, it's gonna save you a lot of time in post-production. And also you can do some things that you can't do if you only have a 35mm lens. You're gonna get some distortion, especially if you're shooting up at buildings like this. But with a zoom lens, if you're all the way into 50, that distortion starts to go away. You're also completely prepared. If I was to find myself at a wedding right now, I would be completely comfortable covering the entire wedding just on this kit. I actually did that in Italy. Photos were published in People magazine.
It's the part that no one really wants to talk about. It's the quiet, ugly truth of making something that matters. Does the world actually need one more photograph from me? One more frame, one more anything? Then there's the temptation. It's always there. Buy the new lens, buy the new camera, the thing that promises to finally make you good. Does it help? Sure. Sometimes it's the chisel you need to shape the marble. But sometimes it's just another distraction from the fact that the marble is you. And you're terrified to make that first swing. Meaningful work, it's not born in the checkout line. It comes from dragging yourself through the mud, pushing past the voice that says that you have nothing worth saying. And why bother? Because if you don't make it, no one else will. And maybe, just maybe, it'll be the thing that keeps someone else's head above water for another day. And that's worth the struggle.
Oh yeah, I was gonna switch from the brass look, but no, the brass look is it still. We're in Colmar, and we're gonna go find an Irish pub. That's not entirely true. We're gonna find other things, but we probably will find, there are 3. I just sent them to Matt Johnson. He's excited for us. He's not in this video. Sorry, Matt. Here we are in the hard light part of the day. You can find some neat shadows, some contrast, some natural contrast. Or you can get some dinner and wait for golden hour and head on over to Little Venice. We're gonna get some really nice looking houses on the water. Come with us. Checked out Sunseeker. Sunseeker is an app that shows you where the sun's going to be. I checked it out, and evening time is for sure the best time to be out here because the light is illuminating the buildings rather than the morning that's going to be on the opposite side. And you get that nice natural saturation.
You good at French?
I'm great at French. We learned French in school. You basically only learn how to say that you're sick or sad. Je suis malade. Je suis un chien. Stylo mange les pamplemousses. Fermez la porte. That was good. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna take one on my film camera now. Leica M3. Leica M3, the most over-engineered camera probably ever made, especially in that time period. Holds up today, even side by side with my MP. My MP it's a light meter. Everything else is pretty similar in terms of looks. They really nailed this way back. And we're shooting some Kodak Gold 200 tonight in this. So we're looking for golden light. You need the gold film to accentuate golden light, and it's a bit of a sunset tonight, so hopefully we're successful. Here we are, Little Venice, Colmar. It's nothing like Venice at all. I don't know why they're going for that brand. No one wants to be a little anything, just be your own thing. You don't gotta be a little Venice. You don't gotta try to pull tourism from them. You can be your own Beauty and the Beast, fairy tale, gingerbread place. This is actually the city that Beauty and the Beast was based on. It's pretty darn nice, I think. So when we're out on photo walks like this, anywhere in the world really, we usually pick a time frame that has the best light or the most interesting light. You can work with the light all day. There's no such thing as bad light as long as you know how to use it, unless you're a wedding photographer and you're in a field and you have no trees and you have to do family formals, then maybe there's bad light. For something like this, there's no official bad light. What I'm looking for is just something that's going to add saturation to the scene, something that's going to spotlight some elements, or just something that's going to add some really nice natural contrast and texture to the photo. And the struggle is that sometimes the light just doesn't end up exactly where you want it to be, and I think that's fine. Tonight we're actually going to go into my computer and set up a PicTime gallery, and I'm going to load these images in, and I'm actually going to print one while we're here, so it's going to arrive at my house probably before we actually get home, so that I actually have something printed. I'm going to ship one to Marshall too. Marshall gets a print. This one here, the background is just a dumpster. I'll put this in a nice wooden frame for you.
Mom's not gonna like that. Is it a good photo?
It's not a great photo. You want a good one with the dumpster?
Good photo with the dumpster?
It's on its way to your house. Thanks, PicTime.
Wow.
So PicTime is the best gallery system. I use it for all of my weddings as well as my artwork as well. And if you are interested in buying any of the photos from this trip, I'm going to put a link down below and you can go and get them and they'll ship right to your house. And also, if you do sign up for a trial of PicTime, you get access to all of my presets. So my entire preset pack, it's not a free light preset pack. It is the entire preset pack that's usually $89 on its own. If you sign up for a PicTime trial and you activate your account, you don't have to pay any money or anything. You can just use their free plan. You will get my full preset pack for completely free. This is also a little teaser for what's about to come the rest of the video.
Here we are at a future Airbnb, Faroe Islands. Keep watching the video, see how we get here. It's really, really cool. And you might be saying, 24-90, amazing lens, but I don't really want to bring it all the time. My suggestion, I have a lot of M lenses or M mount lenses, and you can get the official adapter to just attach those M lenses to your SL3. You know how lightweight that is, or if you want to look extra cool, you can put the square hood on. You're going hiking, maybe you want to bring this instead of that. Problem solved.
Alsace is a strange borderland where France and Germany have been passing the keys back and forth for centuries. It's a wine country, sure. Riesling, Gewürztraminer, names you mispronounce until you've had enough glasses to stop caring. The villages also look like they were pulled from a fairy tale. Half-timbered houses leading into cobblestone streets, shutters painted in colors your grandmother would call darling. But it's not all postcards. There is a weight to Alsace. Wars have been fought over this patch of earth, and you can feel it in the stones. And the way people here carry both French romance and German precision in the same breath. Sit down for a tarte flambé, drink something cold and listen. This is a place that doesn't care if you're in a hurry. The food comes when it's ready, the wine flows when the bottle's open, and the past, well, the past is always here.
Now you might be wondering, why is this 24-90 so darn good? I would say that my immediate reaction was that it photographs at every focal length as a prime lens. Just the feeling, the 3D pop, the way that things fall in and out of focus, I feel like it's just really prime-esque. If you've watched any reviews ever on the internet, you've probably heard people wax poetic about prime lenses. Yes, they let in more light and there's less depth of field, so you can kind of cheat and make any location look pretty good. But they do something more than that. They just create a really nice rendered image that feels really, really nice and true to life. This lens is just incredibly consistent from 24 to 90 millimeters, and every image looks beautiful. So usually, most of the time I'm shooting lenses completely wide open, so that would mean f2.8 at 24 on this lens and f4 at 90 millimeters. On this lens here, I'm stopping it down a little bit. I feel like a lot of us rely on out of focus backgrounds and just a lot of bokeh as a bit of a crutch, myself included, especially on wedding days and portrait shoots. Today though, I'm being a little bit more conscious of my composition, and I'm trying to let the composition and the lighting and the contrast and everything that goes in the image make the image, rather than just really making the background out of focus and having that immediate awe factor, which does still have a place and still does have purpose. But I feel like it's good to balance yourself as an artist. Some days, yeah, just shoot that 85 1.2 all day. Other days, try something else.
It's morning in France through the Leica SL3, the brass look. The streets are quiet, the air smells like bread. And I'm thinking how easy it is to believe that happiness lies in the next camera, the sharper lens, or shinier upgrade. Gear matters, sure, to a point. You need something reliable, something that feels good in your hands. But after that point, I found it's a lot more important to just get out there. Put yourself in the places and the moments that you feel are worth documenting. Because it's not the gear that inspires, it's the experiences. The morning walks, the long dinners, the random experiences that somehow stay with you forever. Life, messy, unpredictable, unpolished, is the subject. And what you'll carry with you isn't the resolution. It's mornings like this in France and the stories that come home with you. For me, the struggle is always meaningful work. We all chase it, but it's slippery. It's hard to define and harder to hold on to. Some days it feels like every photo, every frame is just noise and endless scroll in other people's lives. You wonder if what you're making even matters. The struggle is real. Balancing the craft, the deadlines, the pressure to produce, the simple desire to say something honest. Something that feels like it came from you, not for the algorithm, not for the market. And here's the truth. Meaningful work isn't always grand or polished. Sometimes it's imperfect, it's messy, it's real. And when you stumble onto those moments, when the light falls just right and the story feels true, that's when you remember why you picked up a camera in the first place.
We're friends, we went to high school together. In my hands, Leica M3. The M3 is incredible. All the M's are incredible. It feels like it was manufactured yesterday, and it's about 75 years old. There is no battery. It is just purely mechanical. All the shutter speeds are mechanical. So you can, today you could go by the Sunny 16 rule and you'd be probably fine. Or you can get a little hot shoe light meter. They're helpful. Or you can just use your phone. There's a few apps that are, in my experience, pretty accurate when it comes to metering light. Now the lens, I found it to be very special. I've used a lot of Leica 35mm lenses and 50mm lenses, and this is one of my favorites. It is an Elmar. It's a 5 cm, which in metric converts to 50mm, and it's an f3.5. And as you can see, it collapses nicely when in storage. In the film I'm using today, Kodak Gold 200 ISO film. I love Kodak Gold. Portrait, it's great and professional and really expensive. But I would say that Kodak Gold, for whatever reason, I just like the images a lot better. They're definitely a lot different than my digital images. There's a lot more imperfection. I feel like Portrait stocks, the tones and the feeling obviously is film, but overall it's almost a little too close to perfect. Those film stocks are really, really, really good. I find that Gold, it is one of the more consumer-friendly film stocks that Kodak produces, and overall I just like the images a lot better. I feel like they're a lot more imperfect, and I'm overexposing them significantly so far on this trip, sometimes 4 or 5 stops, because I really like that look and I like the randomness that it sometimes gives me. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so good, but that's part of the fun of film. You shoot the digital stuff to know you have it, to make sure it's there, and then the film, it's for fun. It's also a lot smaller than the 24 to 90. They set up the perfectly contrasting and in terms of color scooter. It's like they went on the color wheel and they're like, what color of scooter should we put in front of here? And they're like, the perfect complement of that pastel pink against the green. It's an okay composition. Kind of works. I feel like the colors make it. Red wall kind of ruins it though. I feel like a lot of getting good at photography is just learning to see light in different ways. For sure true for weddings, portraits, you gotta make people look good. Also for photography like this wall here, this looks a little sad. It's in the shade, there's no light on it, but this wall over here looks a lot more lively. There's a nice saturation in there. And why is that happening? Because the sun is bouncing off of this warm toned wall here, and it's throwing all that good light back here. So you're getting kind of a multi-point lighting system on this wall. It looks really good. So if I was lighting it for a movie, that's how I'd light it. But the world just did it naturally for us today. Composition's not there, but the light's real nice. So maybe a useful activity, even when you're not camera in hand and you're out going for a walk, see what light's doing. Jason Vincent talks about this a lot. We did a full behind the scenes wedding day in Mexico, and Jason is a master of seeing contrasty light. He's drawn to it. I have spent the past 10 years trying to learn it. It does not come naturally. But if you're out for a walk, see what the light's doing. Right now I'm getting a bounce off this window over here. If I move out of the window light, the light has left my eyes a little bit. It was just a lot better over there. So in a street environment like this, basically right now we're maybe 3 hours before sunset, so it's not really golden hour yet. The light's still good and usable. It's definitely kind of pocketed. The downtown core is in the shade, not too exciting over there. If I'm shooting digital, I can bump up and add saturation. With film, I kind of got to get it a lot more right in camera. So my eye and body is drawn to the sun over here. So we're gonna go and hang out in the real light and hopefully find something that works. So film and digital are opposites for a lot of reasons. One of them is the way that I meter and expose scenes. So with film, I'm always metering. So that means pointing my light meter or my phone or my light meter, my camera, aiming it towards the shadows in the scene if I want the shadow detail. And for digital, I'm exposing for the highlights, which means I'm retaining the sky as best I can because I know there's so much detail in the shadows that I can bump them up. Files out of this camera and any Leica camera are gonna be amazing. So you're able to really work them. But I do find that if you overexpose the sky, it's a lot harder to bring that back than to amp up the shadows and make a more cohesive image. We found a scene here that I gotta do a lot of work to the shadows. So I did one photo on my film camera, here it is on the screen, and I'm going to do one on my digital camera. So as a little demo here, you can see the sky is blinking up there. So I have my exposure comp set to this front wheel, and the sky, totally gone there, so I don't want that. So I bring my exposure comp down somewhere where you can let it blink a little bit. It's just showing me my highlights, the detail that's pure white there. And if you do that, that's a more proper exposure. And I'm at 100 ISO, so I know the file is gonna be beautiful, even though on camera, it looks kind of like what you can see. You can't see much on my camera, but I know the composition details there. And here they are side by side. What do you choose? I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. Also, all the film scanned developed by Panda Plush in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. If you're looking for someone to process your film and you live near us, come on down to Kitchener. Panda Plush, he's great. Another thing to consider is what you're gonna do with all these photos. So if you're just taking pictures for the fun of it, or you're to challenge yourself, play the game, that's fine. If you wanna do it for more of a commercial purpose and you actually wanna sell stuff, you gotta start putting together collections and galleries that people not only are gonna want that main image, but they're gonna want 2 or 3 other images that support it to go in other places in their house. And the way you sell prints is by printing stuff and talking about it on social media, like we're doing in this video. Buy my prints. I'll put a link to the stuff we shot. If you want any of these, they're nice, I think. So to speak to my internal struggle with digital versus film, on a trip like this, I'm probably gonna lean heavily film, simply because it doesn't give me any post-production when I get back to the hotel. There's nothing I can do until I get home to Panda Plush and I give him things. And then he scans them. And if you have somebody that's good at scanning, they're also essentially editing your work as well. Yeah, you can add some additional edits if you want afterwards, but you kind of give them your preferences and you basically get back final JPEGs, which is really, really nice, or TIFFs or flat scans if you want to do your own work. For me though, I find it incredibly relaxing, even though the anxiety of the unknown is there, that like maybe this camera doesn't even work this trip. That something happened between New York and here, and there's some problem that I haven't discovered yet. There is that residual anxiety, as well as when you go to the airport that you have to remember to get your film hand checked. X-rays are probably fine most of the time, but if you see one of the big 360 CT scanners, like they're starting to get all over the world, at that point you absolutely have to have your film hand checked, and hopefully the staff understand that and they'll do it, because a CT scanner is different. So an X-ray basically, it's gonna scan, it's gonna hit your film like one time. CT scanner, they can keep hitting it with light until they find what they're looking for. So if you pack a bunch of film in a really deep bag with a bunch of other stuff and they're looking for that 360 image, they're going to keep putting more light into it, and they're absolutely going to make your Porsche 400 look like expired Fujifilm Superia, like this photo of the cherry blossoms in Japan. This is Porsche 400 somehow. So the struggle of digital versus film is alive for me, and I feel like it's also alive for Leica.
The artist's job is not to succumb to despair, but to find an antidote for the emptiness of existence. Gertrude Stein said that, or at least said it in the movie Midnight in Paris, and she wasn't wrong. Art is the antidote. The photograph, the painting, the riff scrawled in the margins of a napkin at 2 a.m. It's not about perfection, it's about the footprint you leave on the world. It's about seeing something ugly or absurd or heartbreakingly beautiful and refusing to let it pass by without a fight. Sometimes it's defiance, sometimes it's therapy, sometimes it's just the only way you can keep breathing. The tools matter, sure, the brush, the lens, the light, but the art isn't the camera. It's the moment you notice, when you're awake enough, raw enough, foolish enough to say, this matters, and I'm going to show it to you. That's the job, and if you're lucky, you'll find someone out there who sees it and feels a little less empty too. Being invited to Leica headquarters is the kind of thing that you daydream about when you're a broke kid staring at camera store windows. The red dot was mythic, something other people own, doctors, war photographers, people with a better taste and deeper pockets than I. And now, I'm here. It's a cathedral to craftsmanship. Quiet, deliberate, almost reverent. You can feel the century of obsession in the air, and also on the walls because there's a lot of signs. The digital, it's a marvel. But now they've gone back to film. They've reopened the lab. The logo is on film packaging once again. While the rest of the industry is racing towards the highest megapixels and faster frames per second than ever before, Leica is reminding us to slow down, to wait, to not know if you got the shot until the chemicals have their say. It's not nostalgia, it's defiance. A reminder that the world doesn't need more pictures, it needs more photographs.
Yeah, we never get back to film. We were always in. So we never stopped producing analog cameras. But now there's a little bit of a revival, of course. And we reintroduced the Leica M6, which was very successful, and many people love this camera to this day. And it's also to show our appreciation for analog photography and also for our origins. Now we have again a lab here, a dark room set up, run by someone very dedicated and passionate about analog photography. It's still an important part for us.
Here we are, Porsche Museum. That's crazy.
Great design is art. It's not an accident, it's intent distilled until there's nothing left to take away. The clean lines, the way every curve has a reason. No gimmicks, no wasted moves. Similar to Leica, these machines are built for people that care as much about the feel as a result. And when you're behind the wheel or behind the lens, you realize good design disappears, becomes part of you, and it becomes not so much about what the machine can do, it's about how it inspires you to do it.
We're here at the Porsche Museum to take European delivery of my new GT3 RS. I got it in this color. So this is basically Bones, which is a Porsche 911 that we drove all the way from San Francisco back to Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. There's a full video up on the channel. If you want to watch it, we drove with Magnus Walker, which is pretty crazy. That guy can drive for film, and he got real close. This is nice. Is this yours?
I ain't one to have a plan. I ain't ever been a man. I'll fold every single hand. I don't know shit about cars. Well, I tend to drink a lot, and I tend to get real lost. I learned nothing from my pops. I don't know shit about cars. I'll bum one more cigarette. The only spirit that I've met runs straight through my head. I don't know shit about cars.
The world doesn't need more noise. It's got enough of that already. What it needs, what we need, are things worth looking at. Things worth feeling. And that's where you come in. Art matters because it outlives us. Because a photograph, a painting, a song, it can hold a piece of the world still, just long enough for someone else to see it the way you did. But you can't do that from a couch. You've got to get out there, get your hands dirty, smell the air in a place you've never been, talk to strangers, stand in the rain, in a city's name that you can barely pronounce. The world is bigger than your problems and smaller than you think. And every time you put a frame around it, you're saying, this mattered. I was here. So get out, see it, feel it, and bring your camera. Yeah! Old bonus pig! We've arrived in Faroe Islands, and it is sunny, which makes afternoon photography a little more challenging. They get about 500 hours total of sun in a year, and we're about to take up about 10% of that. But more exciting than this, behind me, the original bonus pig. They've all been replaced by cuter pigs in Iceland, but here in Faroe Islands, you still have the insane bonus pig that I have no idea why was this drawn, why was this a logo for years and years and years. Happy to have found the last one. The last one we saw in Iceland was in Westman Islands, and you just have to keep going more and more remote in order to find this pig. So excited to shop in a store, and hopefully they have some merch with this old logo. We've arrived at our Airbnb, and it's actually in a heritage site, and it's one of the heritage buildings. So we're staying in the village, which is really nice. It's gonna be great once all the buses and everything clear out. But this turf house behind us here is one of the coolest Airbnbs I've ever found in my life. And let's go for a tour inside, because I think it's pretty crazy. Well, one, there's a barrel sauna on a trailer. And then the other side, there's a hot tub, which is really nice. And then inside, it's just really cool. We also have this incredible waterfall on our property, as well as a lovely lake down there as well. We're probably gonna cook up some pasta. I wish we would have maybe got something fancier, but I'm excited for a little spicy pasta. Here we are inside, and the floor plan, I've seen it a few times and it still confuses me. So there's 2 living rooms, 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom. This is the kitchen. It's incredible. Then we go over here. And then through this kind of half slidey door with the bed blocking it, you get 1 bedroom. You got some games, you got a picture of the owner. And then over here, also cool. And then you have a little loft space with another bedroom apparently. That one's a little difficult to access. And then Marshall's room's up there. It looks big. A little floor situation. That's nice though. Leica 24-90, really helpful for big landscape shots like this. I think the tendency for landscapes, you see a big thing, you see a lot of nice stuff, you want to get it all. I think you go 90, you simplify it,
and it looks really, really nice. So yeah, just a really, really nice choice for everything. For those wide shots when you got those puddlegrams, and then big shots like this with rainbows. Oh yeah, I like the pocketed light today. For black and white photography, if it was overcast entirely, I would say that would be my go-to. But because there is some nice little pops of green, I need like a Porsche in the foreground here, or like something that's not a Hyundai or a Toyota, whatever this is. Nah, maybe that looks pretty good. We're up here, we haven't gone far. We're battling with the CarPlay system in our Skoda and waiting for the sun to hit the city here. I think if we can get a spotlight on the city, that's all I want. There's gonna be some sunlight on the mountain, but the city is gonna be rule of thirds in the corner there, and it's gonna make the shot. Nice leading lines with the bridge. Shot looks like it's coming together. We just gotta wait for it. But like 3 minutes. It's beautiful out. It's 15 degrees and sunny again. We got another, I guess this is probably gonna take another, 15 hours of sunlight from their year. So we're now actually sitting at 10% of their yearly sun on our 2-day trip. So apologies if you come here and this isn't the weather you get, because it's very beautiful. Oh, motorcycle guy. Oh yeah. The freedom of the motorcycle. Oh yeah, that's great. It's a total vibe. Come to Faroe Islands and motorcycle around, you'll for sure get this weather. I think it's nice to go to the places that you might not expect to go. We didn't really expect to come to Faroe Islands on this trip, and I am blown away. It's like the eastern side of Iceland, but just everything in a very easy to drive. It's a very tourist-friendly country, I would say. North to south is maybe 2 hours, and there's a lot to see on the way. Every landscape is remarkable. Big hills, cool tunnels. I would say that the most impressive part of the trip so far has just been driving up north here. Actually, every part of this trip's been impressive, including the bonus pig still existing up here. Really, really happy about that.
The Faroe Islands feel like the edge of the map. A place where you draw dragons and sea monsters, jagged cliffs rise from black water, sheep outnumber people. The wind never really stops, it just changes direction to keep you humble. It's a place where weather isn't small talk, it's survival. Sunlight breaks through for seconds, painting the moss-covered hills in gold before the next squall erases it all. There's no pretending here. The Faroes don't perform for you. They don't care if you're cold, wet, lost. But if you give them your time, your patience, they'll give you moments so quiet, so staggering, you'll forget the rest of the world exists. And maybe, for a little while, it won't.
Craft, you've seen the bag for a lot of this trip as well as the straps. And a lot of the straps will come either as a peak design option or a split ring. So on my M3, I have the split ring version, and on this SL3, I have the peak design straps, so I can take the strap off and on easily. When it comes to the bags, this one's brand new, so this isn't out yet, or I guess it's out maybe as you're watching this video. I've been really enjoying the experience. It comes with these bags that clip off and on. If I'm out on a trip like this, I'm happy to bring a bag of this color, but if I am at a wedding day, I'm likely going to be going with the black one. And inside here, room for your laptop as well as everything else that you could need. Really, really nice 13-liter bag. Happy with it on this trip, and this is actually the only bag that I brought today. So we left our suitcases in the rental car back at the ferry terminal, and everything that I had to bring for one day fit into this, including, well, no, I carried this actually.
Photography trip. Have you ever been on a photography trip? Ha ha ha. The best zoom lens in the world. Leica.
Good morning from the ferry terminal. Woke up to a misty morning here, and I'm switching my video to Leica Contemporary, which is another one of the looks that you can get through the app. And I think it looks pretty nice. A lot of people will just swear by the regular, either just standard or natural or vivid. I'm trying some new stuff out on this trip. And the first clip is gonna be this digger for some reason. There we go. I think that looks really nice actually. All right, contemporary, video mode. Photo is still edited by Imagine. Video clips, straight to the camera. We could also do a magic trick where I have the ferry shot framed up and then I could walk across the frame and we could do we're not gonna do that. I should have been using this sooner. This one might be my favorite, especially in these conditions. It's better than brass. Brass would add more warmth to the scene, which is nice, but it's not really naturally what's going on. And I'm finished my rolls of black and white, unfortunately, even though today is the black and white day. So I should have held on. I finished them this morning because I was like, we have to get on a plane today, but I didn't realize that we had to get on a boat before we got on a plane, and we're gonna see a waterfall in an underwater roundabout on the way. Pretty remarkable.
I was chasing after you, like we had something to lose, like there was something to prove.
Thank you, Magnus.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Forever was too short now. I know that for sure, but can we take just one more detour? It's okay if you tell me lies.
view. Yeah. People are not going to believe this shot. They're going to say it's AI because there's no line for this hot dog stand. Anthony Bourdain has also had a hot dog from this hot dog stand. Geared down a little bit here in Reykjavik, the 28 Elmarit, and you can set up a button to go into APS-C crop mode, so it's obviously a full frame sensor, but you can go into crop mode. So if you do want a little bonus reach, your 28 becomes whatever 28 times 1.5 is, and that's nice. I've been on a whale safari, but we don't have time to go on a whale safari today. And you might notice behind us that we rented the most hilarious vehicle. We're only in Iceland for 24 hours, so we didn't need much more than this. And we've been staring at these Jimneys for years now, being like, we should rent one of these one time, because it's like a Temu G-Wagon. And the tires are small. The ride is not great. The manual gearbox, we have some questions. And if it gets windy, I am fearful that we will topple over.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. The world keeps moving, sunsets don't reschedule, strangers pass by and disappear forever. A camera isn't just a tool, it's an excuse. An excuse to wander down streets you'd otherwise ignore, to ask questions you'd otherwise never ask, to stand in places you have no business standing in just to watch the light change. You don't need a plan, you don't need a reason, just a willingness to step outside and see what's there. The world is full of stories begging to be told, and they're not going to sit around and wait for you to find the proper settings. Take the shot, even if it's imperfect, especially if it's imperfect. The world is out there, messy, beautiful, unrepeatable. Go see it before it changes, because one day the light will be gone, and so will you. Until then, keep shooting.
Do you cry when you laugh? 'Cause I have oceans in my eyes, and it rains every day. No, my homeland's never dry, but you were born by the lake, so you don't seem to mind it much.
All new 16 to 30, the Marshall will be filming on.
Yeah, your town is evergreen, even when it starts to snow. Yeah, your bed is ever warm, even when it's 5 below. And my feet are always frozen, but you don't seem to mind it much. I told the stars about you, I told the sun and the moon, and everybody agrees you seem like the best thing for me.
Oh God, really? Don't want to
We
stop?
can run every night, falling barefoot in the glass. Pack a bag for a week, but we're never going back to our old ways, to the dark days. Just leave it all behind.
Oh, this is satisfying.
I told the stars about you, I told the sun and the moon, and everybody agrees you seem like the best thing for me. Oh, I fell in love in Lake Michigan, looked at the sky and said you sent him, didn't you? Yeah, I knew. I told the stars about you, I told the sun and the moon, and everybody agrees you seem like the best thing for me. I told the stars about you, I told the sun and the moon, and everybody agrees you seem
Arby's in Canada a week before our trip, and I have to go in and find a way to get the burger papers for the Anthony Bourdain Paranormal Activity joke. And I think if I tell them the real story, it's just going to be, it's too crazy. So I have to come up with another story. So I have a few in mind, and we'll see who I encounter when I get up to, and hopefully we can get some burger papers and maybe a bag and anything else with Arby's logos on it. But I am unfortunately going to have to buy at least a roast beef sandwich. Oh my gosh, there's a thing called an Arbinator. Oh, there's fries in it? No one needs that. Entering Arby's. Oh yeah, got it. Horsey sauce. An additional uplifting fact for Arby's is that Pusha T actually owns 40% of the publishing rights of the We Have the Meats song. So anytime that song is played, Pusha T gets paid money. I think I've gone down a dead end. We got our Audi A6 Avant adjacent vehicle and also a Capri Sun. I've never had one of these from Ava, so I hope it's good. Just off to the submarine that's in this parking lot. A Concorde over there. Looking at cars in Germany. Yeah. So our Airbnb is apparently a heritage property up there, and we have to get through this gate. And Marshall's gonna go rough up the bus tour.
I'm just gonna go open it.
It's so awkward. This is very cool. Got a hot tub, turf house. It's a very serious hot tub. It has a little water feature here. Got that cool American flavor. We made a weird fire here. Marshall's going for it. Bulldog power. It might be a laxative, we don't know. The hot dogs here are, I guess, French style. Going on a boat. Marshall on a boat. We've checked into our new Airbnb and Marshall's found an outlet to charge his battery.
It's a good power.
Yeah. Photography trip, yeah. Photography trip, yeah. Photography trip, yeah. Photography trip, yeah. 24 to 90, 2.8 to 4. I know what your brain is thinking. I ain't got no time for the sliding apertures.
Night, filling up my dreams with steep gasoline, got up to 583. I ain't scared of the dark, I still break my own heart. I don't know shit about cars. I ain't one to have a plan, and I ain't ever been a man. I'll fold every single hand, still don't know shit about cars. I'm the last of my kind, it's bullheaded right. I get lonely at night, filling up my dreams with steep gasoline, got up to 583. I ain't scared of the dark, I still break my own heart. I don't know shit about cars.
Do we think this is the first Arby's cup to come to Iceland?